Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Chase Headley had himself yet another night, a couple of home runs. He is chasing Ryan Braun in that Major League or the National League RBI leaders list, coming in just 2 behind the National League leader Ryan Braun of the Milwaukee Brewers as Headley approaches 100 runs batted in. As we welcome you into Petco Park here in San Diego, California for Game 2 of a 3-game series, Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres. As we welcome you inside the broadcast booth, Andy Mazur in for Dick Enberg, Mark Grant, Tony Gwynn alongside, and it's been a lot of fun to watch Chase Headley play since the All-Star break, even before that, as a matter of fact. And Tony Gwynn, you mentioned something on the broadcast last night about how much fun it is to watch when the light kind of goes on.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure for Chase, he wished this happened a lot sooner, but watching the way that he's swinging the bat right now, I mean, he's working the camp. He knows eventually he's going to get something good to hit, and when he does, he just wants to put his best swing on it. And as we saw in this swing last night in the 8th inning, you can't get much hotter than he is right now. He's carrying the load for the Padres, and hopefully he can continue this run right on through the end of the season, because I think the things that he's learned this year are going to make him a better player from this point forward.
Padres are going to try to keep the good times rolling here against the Arizona Diamondbacks, already having won 7 consecutive games against Arizona. And Mark Grant, a good pitching matchup here this evening is a couple of youngsters go after each other. Wade Miley, the left-hander for Arizona, and the right-hander Casey Kelly.
Yeah, one of the great things I love about this game of baseball when you see 2 young pitchers with loads of talent hooking up. You mentioned Casey Kelly and Wade Miley, 22-year-old Kelly, 25-year-old Miley. They both have got guts. They've got a great idea what they want to do on the mound. Now, Casey Kelly making his second start here at Petco Park. Remember last time out in Colorado, in the 3rd inning, he gave up 7 runs. Well, back in the dugout, Buddy Black approached him, looked in his eyes, and he didn't have that look in his eyes like, oh my gosh, what just happened? He was shell-shocked. He wanted that baseball. He wanted to go back out there. He made an adjustment. He chewed up some innings and put some innings on the board for the Padres. So this kid can make an adjustment, and he's got some guts. It's going to be a good matchup tonight.
All right, Padres, a game over 500 here at Petco Park. 34-33 heading into this matchup here tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Time to dominate the D-backs. Yeah, they're trying for 8 straight wins against Arizona. Padres and the Diamondbacks. You will see it next. fun times at the ballpark last night. Let's see if the good times can continue here this evening as the Padres will host the Arizona Diamondbacks. Middle game of the 3-game set. Kirk Gibson will send out this lineup here against the Padres. Adam Eaton leads off in center field. Aaron Hill bats second. Jason Kubel is in left field. Paul Goldschmidt back in the starting lineup at first base. Miguel Montero will catch. Justin Upton's in right field. Chris Johnson at third base. Jake Elmore, the shortstop. Wade Miley will pitch, and they'll face Casey Kelly making his third big league start. As we get this ball game underway here from Petco Park with ball one.
Well, we all know, Padre faithful watching tonight, this game's about adjustments. Casey Kelly made an adjustment last time out. And I think it's going to be fun. Casey Kelly is going to be in the mix next year, hopefully in this rotation. To see him toe that slab once every 5th day.
He showed a lot of people a lot of stuff about that game against Colorado that you mentioned in the open, Mud. And Tony, I wonder from a hitting perspective, too, with the fact that your team was down 7-3 at that point when Kelly gave up the 7 runs in the 3rd inning, what that look means to a guy that's coming up to bat. Guy hasn't lost faith. He still wants to go out there and help the ball club.
I think it works both ways, too. From the Padres standpoint, he gives up 7 runs, yet he wants to be in there to let his teammates know, hey, we're going to try to hold him here.
Just out of the reach of Everett Cabrera into center. And a leadoff single for Adam Eaton. Let's meet the defense here for the San Diego Padres. Brought to you by Mazda. Guzman, Maven, and Denorfia. That's your outfield from left to right. Headley, Cabrera, Forsythe, Alonso. Around the horn, the infield from 3rd to 1st. And a battery of Casey Kelly and Yasmani Grandal. So Guzman out there in left as Carlos Quentin. Another day off. Still being bothered by that right knee irritation. Buddy Black saying before the game, not a major issue, just wanted to quiet down. And hopefully in the next couple of days we'll see Carlos Quentin back out there in left field.
Yeah, you'd rather have it take an extra day or two and get it right rather than going out there and tweaking it even more. And with the way the team's playing right now, hey, everybody's contributing.
Yeah, you're right.
So Aaron Hill at the plate, with the runner Eaton with some speed at first base. 21 homers and 66 runs batted in for Aaron Hill. A guy that has completed 2 cycles and came within a triple of a 3rd this season.
Wow. 2 in 1 season is
That's
unbelievable.
Yeah. Since 1969, no Padres ever done it.
And he's done it twice and almost 3 times.
In 1 year.
Shot in from the park at the park. And there are pre and post game set out there right by Tony Gwynn's statue. And a lazy fly ball as Cabrera will backpedal to make that catch. 1 away. Well, this year the Padres have really taken care of the opposing team's superstar as far as the pitching is concerned. It started with David Wright, who was approaching 400 when the Padres were in New York toward the end of May. Aaron Hill on that list, as is Andrew McCutchen and Jason Kubel being held down by Padre pitching.
I'll tell you, that last at bat, I think Aaron Hill was fooled by Adam Eaton at first base. He bluffed as he was going, and Aaron Hill was a little bit out in front of that last pitch.
Yeah, it wasn't a good hack at all.
It's almost a defensive hit and run type of hack.
You know, as I look at Jason Kubel from that center field shot, the way he stands, he's got the 2-day, well, to him, maybe a 1.5-day growth. It kind of looks like Kirk Gibson a little bit back in the day. You know, Gibby had kind of a, did he have a closed stance a little bit?
A little bit.
He's an open stance there. Number 23 with the Dodgers. And, of course, Tony, I hate to bring him up because, of course, 84.
Oh, no big deal.
There's a little resemblance.
A little gray on the left, but that's,
There's always that
That's experience on the left.
Yeah. Grizzled.
That's what some losses will do.
Yeah, that's what happens when you.
Gibby always had that little hitch, It was kind of lumbering toward the plate. Nothing ever seemed smooth, but yet he got the job done more often than not.
Yep. Good player.
Former football star at Michigan State. along with the Tigers, and then, of course, hitting that famous home run off of Dennis Eckersley at Dodger Stadium.
I love hearing him tell that story about hitting that home run.
Deep fly ball to right field, and Norfield will turn and watch this one go. A 2-run homer for Kubel. His 28th of the season, and the Diamondbacks are on the board here in the first inning, 2-0.
Well, it kind of slowed down the pace a little bit, that at bat. You know, calling time. Oh, right down the middle of the plate.
It's a force. It looked like a two-seamer didn't do very much. Stayed on the inner half of the plate.
And that was an 0-1 fastball, missed with location. Put a good swing on it. Now, how will Casey Kelly bounce back?
Well, if the short history that we've seen him is any notice, he'll bounce back nicely. Another high drive into deep right center field. They've been tracking with this one and making the catch. Dropped the ball in the transfer from the glove hand to the bare hand, but he ranged a long way out there to make the catch on the warning track.
He made this play look easy, but this is a difficult play.
Oh, rattled around in his glove. That ball was not clean into the pocket of Cameron Maybin.
So 2 away now in this first inning. Saw some good defense last night behind the Padres pitching staff. And now Casey Kelly trying to get out of this inning with giving up just the 2 runs. And with the way the Padres have been swinging the bats, 2 runs is nothing.
Doesn't seem like it. You're right, Andy. It's you know, the way that they've been scoring runs. Okay, you fall down 2-0. You're gonna have to put runs on the board to win anyway. It's not gonna be that big a deal.
From opening day till like middle of May,
Yeah.
2 runs, insurmountable.
Yeah, it was like 10.
Right, exactly. And it was tough to chip away and play catch up. Not these days for the Friars.
And there's a strike.
That's one of the things that you're going to see Casey Kelly do. Command of both sides of the plate. He's got that running fastball away to the lefty. He's got that four-seam fastball he can throw into the lefty.
Because he's over on the first base side of the rubber, though, he's got to make sure that he locates. Because he gets a ball, you know, like you said, his two-seamer, he likes to run, start it off the plate in and run it back over the inside part of the plate. But if you make a mistake in the middle of the plate like he did with Kubel, you know, it gets hit.
And he gets him swinging on the changeup. And Kelly gets out of the inning with the 2-run homer by Kubel, puts the Diamondbacks up 2-0. To bat here against Wade Miley. Let's take a look at the lineup for you here. Brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Kristen Orfia will lead off. Logan Forsythe batting second. Headley at third. Yasmani Grandal catching. Jesus Guzman out of left field. Yonder Alonso is the first baseman. Cameron Maben in center. Everett Cabrera at short. And Casey Kelly is on the mound. And guys will be facing a young left-hander looking for his 15th win of the season, Wade Miley.
We've talked about it before. Wade Miley's going to get some consideration, if not the Rookie of the Year award. He's got some good company, though. Still a handful of starts maybe left for the young left-hander. You're going to get something to hit against this guy, but it's about squaring it up. He's not going to walk many hitters. 30 walks in 164 plus innings pitched. He's a good one, Tony.
Good young pitcher. I like what you said in the opening. He's got, for a young guy, he's got real good composure. Doesn't seem to get rattled by a whole lot. Diamondbacks staked him to a 2-0 lead, so let's see how he attacks the hitters.
Well, Denorfia in that leadoff spot. Again, a great average against left-handers. And a great average overall in limited playing time, sharing time with Will Venable in right field. And Denorfia again gets into one and lifts a single to left. Setting the table for the rest of the Padre lineup here is Chris Denorfia. Let's meet the rest of the Arizona defense today. Out in left field is Kubel, Eaton in center, Upton in right. On the infield, it's Johnson, Elmore, Hill, and Goldschmidt are on the horn third to first. And a battery of Miguel Montero and Wade Miley. And here is Logan Forsythe. Denorfia, a good average against lefties. Follow that up with a .338 batting average this year against the left-handers. And Logan Forsythe at .354.
Good. Those guys at the top have done a great job getting on base, getting themselves in the scoring position for guys like Headley and Grandal in the middle of this lineup to drive them in. So,
you guys remember the struggles the Padres have had in recent years against left-handed starters. Because there really hasn't been one or two guys in that lineup that have hit lefties well. Now there's two or three. That's back up the middle into center, a base hit. Well, like a broken record, this is the exact start that the Padres had yesterday in the first inning. Consecutive base hits by the leadoff man and the number 2 hitter.
Well, Forsythe, I just really like his game. He just doesn't seem to get rattled. Down in the count, that ball's down in the zone. He goes down, he gets it, lines it right back up the middle.
And as a pitcher, what's always taught you, keep the ball down, right? He went down, nearly picked that ball right off the ground.
Yeah, he knows Miley's looking to try to get a double play ball, and he picked that ball off the ground and lined it right in the center field.
So Headley from the right side. I just saw a second ago. The chase to 100. He's 2 away from that century mark.
We should have started this like the last road trip. Yeah. But you know what? The last road trip, we weren't sure if he was going to get there or not. He's just been on fire.
How about a 3-run shot here for 101?
Yeah.
Okay, why not?
How about a Fresca?
Yeah. I'll take one. So Headley's just been locked in from both sides of the plate.
Yeah, 56 RBIs since the All-Star break.
Looks like Miley's trying to keep that ball away.
And again, I talked about this last night. This is a situation, okay? In the first pitch, he takes a swing at it, fouls it off. And since then, he's gotten 2 changeups. Neither one has been around the plate. He hadn't been super aggressive. He's just seeing the ball good and reacting good.
Again, not expanding the zone.
Again, we used to say fish not biting in the dugout. Fish not biting. He's not biting on that.
He's throwing some chum out
That's
there.
right. He's throwing
corner.
it out there. He's not biting.
Right.
He's going to make you try to come in the zone.
Came in for a strike and right at the bottom of the zone.
Pretty good pitch. Our Fox Tracks.
Pitcher's pitch.
Yeah. Our friends from Southland Technology saying that pitch number 5 there was right at the knees.
Shallow right. And Upton there. Out number 1. Runners hold their ground. DeNorfia at second, Forsythe at first. And Yasmani Grandal, who cleared the bases with a double yesterday, will get a chance here.
That's what we're talking about. Miley gets 3-2 changeup right there.
Yep.
Not giving in. Had Hidley out in front, got the out.
They're risking to walk the bases loaded with that walk there and turn it over to Grandal. That was a gutsy pitch.
Miley started this year actually in the bullpen. He became a full-time starter in May. And made the All-Star team. Out of Hammond, Louisiana.
One thing about Miley is he can't just one look DeNorfia at second base. He'll steal it on him.
Yeah, you've got the right-handed batter, and at third base, you've got Johnson playing way back. And runners, you know this, Tony, they'll key on that.
Yep.
If a pitcher's a one-looker, he did it again that time. Might not come into effect right here, but, you know, if he's deep in the game, next, you know, the fourth inning, fifth inning, whatever the case may be, hey, they'll talk about that in the dugout. Rick Renteria will be talking to the base runners, and they'll keep that in mind.
They're always looking for something. Try to take advantage of somebody. Keep one looking. And Forsythe at first base has got a great lead.
Just fouled on the right field line.
The Mad Hatter. Oh, wait a second. He's got a Padre camo jersey on. He's got a Padre hat underneath, I assume, the camo matching hat, right? That green. And then he's got a Diamondback hat on top of that one.
I think he lost a bet.
He may have.
Grandal following off some good pitches.
We have to keep an eye on that kid down there because at some point somebody's going to call him. He's going to duck that hat for a Padre hat.
He's going to put the, yeah.
They'll let him know we're talking about the Diamondback hat.
I don't know about you, but that two hat look's not a real good look.
No.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Into right, and Upton is there. And now 2 away. So runners stay at first and second. Time now for Alexis Keys to the game. But
well, 4 or more. Wade Miley, he's only given up 4 or more runs in 5 of his 24 starts, guys. He lost 4 of those 5 starts, and 1 of those was against these Padres. It was back on June 1st. Padres won 7-1, so that's a big key. Hey, smooth out the bump for Casey Kelly. He had that bad outing, or that one bad inning, I should say, in Colorado. 5 earned runs in the third. Unfortunately, it cost him the game, but 2 runs here is nothing. We mentioned for the Padres offense, keep the Diamondbacks at 2. Still waiting for that Lexus, by the way, in the driveway.
maybe it'll come with your golf. Nice bow on him. So here's Guzman, 0 for 3 yesterday, playing in left field. Guzman does have 1 career home run against Wade Miley. And he goes to the fastball outside.
That was a power sinker down and away. He just yanked it, tried to overthrow it, it looked like.
Good look from right where the batter stands. Looking out at the runners at first and second with 2 outs.
He had a 2-out knock right here.
And according to Laz Diaz, no swing.
There's that curveball, guys. Going along with that curveball, the changeup we've talked about, the slider, shorter breaker, and the fastball. And does he go? I don't think he went on that one, believe it or not. Yeah.
Write this date down. That's a fair ball inside the